Welcome back. As I mentioned yesterday, we definitely faced a hard Leetcode problem from the yesterday question. So I think this problem also exactly the same as the problem from yesterday. I think the only difference is the data inputs became larger and target became up to 100 million, I would say. Maybe I can check back how much is it that we solved yesterday. I don't know, you can see it. Okay, never mind. So so the Leetcode problem is also the same as the yesterday one, counting the subarray with the majority of element. So for those who came to my video who don't understand what is the yesterday question was doing, technically we want to count the subarray with the majority of element is target. So what I mean by subarray is this is a subarray, this is also subarray, this is also subarray, and 1, 2, 3 also subarray. We want to count what is the majority of the target number 2 include in here. Okay, this is also the subarray, and then we have another blue color 2, 2, 3, and 3 only. So totally we have 10 subarray we could be found according to the given number of input 4. What I mean by input 4 is that array size of 4 and the target is 2. And yeah, if we count, so 1 and 2, let's ignore this. Okay, I better use a better color for that. Okay, use orange color. Ignore this because the 1 can be the majority because 1 is not even the target number that we want. What about the 1 and 2 subarray? So it's a 50-50. That is also cannot consider the target we want. How about 1, 2, 2? So 2, 2 is definitely the 66.66% of the array. So we can count that as a valid one. So we just 1, 2, 2 in here. And then 1, 2, 2, 3, which is a 50% of the target, and 50% is 1 and 3. So we can take it. So yeah, that's also not valid. And move on to 2, that's a valid because its only number is 1, and then yeah, it's come to here. How about 2, 2? That's also valid. How about 2, 2, 3? That's also valid. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. How about 2 only? That's also valid in here. Alright, so after drawing the random sketch on the question, I believe nobody will understand what I explained. Sorry about that. I will drop the explanation from the yesterday in the description so you guys can have a look. So for example 2, since we can find the subarray of tons for the input array size of 4, so we got the output of 10. How about all the inputs are not in the target list, so we just return the 0. So let's start write the code. But the problem can be solved using the yesterday solution, which is a 2-pointer approach. We have left and right pointer, and then we trying to populate the data based on the pointers. But today we are using the different approach by catching the frequency. That's called prefix frequency, and that's going to be the array of repeating the 0. We need the doubles of the side, which is n into 2 plus 1. Why do I need the 1 in here? Is we want to have a 1 spare extra run so that we could go around since the beginning. Another is we will also need to populate this count number, but we can't touch that because we are using it in the for loop. Let's go and reset 0, and we have a for loop called index in 0 through n. So that's the reason why we can populate this data. So instead of populating that data, what we're going to do is we will create another variable called prefix index, which is technically the copy version of our recount. And yep, and then I will put the initial frequency of index n, which is the last index of the prefix frequency, as 1. And in here, what I want to do is I will check if nums of index is equal to target or not. So if same as the target, what I want to do is I will change our virtual values. I think we need the one variables in here. Let's call village ending. Originally it's a 0. So what I want to do is village ending is we want to check the village ending is smaller than the prefix index or not. What I mean by village ending is we want to check where did our index end for the subarray. Let's call like this is a subarray, our village ending end in here. So that's just a theory explanation for the village ending variable. And then if yes, we're gonna increment the village ending with the prefix frequency of prefix index. So technically we are adding the original value of prefix index 1 to the village endings, which is 0. After that, we will increment the prefix index to 1. But we need to keep in mind that if we increment the prefix index to 1 or plus 1, that will cause us the index out of bound if we not manage properly. That's the reason why we have a double side of the prefix frequency array and have an extra 1 room in here. And if everything went well, we will update the prefix frequency, which is our dictionary, kind of dictionary data with the prefix index, which we just increment plus 1. Let's go, we have like total of 4 array in here. Let me quickly draw it like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So before that we put our code in the count, which is index 4 here as a 1. So I literally move this cursor from here to there. So that's what I'm doing here. And if yes, I will increment the value with the prefix index. But if the value that we want is not matched with our target, so we will decrease the prefix index by -1. Minus equal to 1, and then we will update our village ending in here with the reverse with the prefix index, and we will still increment the value with the prefix index. I think I can even move that line of code to outside in here. Yep. So we could save the line of code. And yep, if everything went well for the for loop, what I'm going to do is I will update the answer with the village ending. At the end, return, oh, how can I write the answer? It should be reset. And then I will return the reset in here. Let's try to do the dry run in locally first. Alright, let's try to submit. Okay, I believe this is the O of n for the time and space complexity. Okay, I was not expecting. I was beating the 100% of everyone submitted this problem. Okay, O of n for the time complexity and O of n for the space complexity, because we don't even use the spare extra data structure aside from the array of given count. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.